And we're back here at Cooper's Field, the 2023 USAFL National Championships from the Premier Sports Campus here in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, and beautiful Bradenton, Sarasota counties, as we are set for round 3 of Women's Division I. And this, for all intents and purposes, is a semifinal match as the Golden Gate Iron Maidens, 6-time defending national champions, will take on the Denver Bulldogs, team that won 6 in a row of their own from 2010 to 2015. The winner will play the Minnesota Freeze later this afternoon for the D1 Grand Final. The loser will have to settle for a third-place date against the Seattle Grizzlies. Brian Barish back here with you. Joining me once again in the commentary position from the Sacramento Suns and a member of the U.S. national team, Mackenzie Adamo and Mac. This is a mouth-watering matchup with just like a pack of cows in a cannabis patch, the stakes are high.
The stakes are very high. Let's see what they can pull out of the hat trick, right?
I like that. That's very good. Now let's talk about these two teams. How do you think Golden Gate, what's their mindset after seeing their 25-game win streak at Nationals fall at the hands of the Minnesota Freeze yesterday?
I think they're going to come out hard. They're hungry. They want to win it back. But Denver's hungry too.
Yeah, and Denver's a team, they do not like losing, and I think they might see an opportunity here after they fell to Minnesota yesterday in the opening game. They defeated Seattle, so they come in at 1-1 as well. And I think they're a team that, I think having seen that the Iron Maidens are fallible, that somebody has come along and beat them, now they can think that they can do the same thing.
Absolutely. There's a lot of veteran skill on the Denver team as well, so if they can just keep possession, take those big marks.
You can hear the Iron Maidens. They are set to go, and so are the Bulldogs. I will tell you that the Maidens have a little bit of a bigger bench, and for the Bulldogs, the fitness is really going to come in handy here. But we take a quick look. Yeah, some of the veterans, names of the past like Allison Bremner, the Castanics, and Hallie and Lindsay Mazzaros, Caitlin Masher. A lot of names on both sides that have a lot of experience at this tournament. The umpire is ready, and so are we. Women's Division I here on Cooper's Field is underway. Ball in the air, Win going up against Kylie Hahn in the rock. And right out of it, we have a free kick going the way of the Golden Gate Iron Maidens. They're wearing the orange, the blue, and the silver, going from right to left on your watching choice. If you're watching over the beer tent, it's the opposite. Good spoil in the middle there by Rita Hill, one of the national teamers. Up on the far side now, little handball over the top by Mackenzie. This one is high up in the air, could bring rain. 2 players settling under it, notched to the ground, knocked away, and picked up and sent this one on by Alvidor. That one is sent in. It'll roll. It'll die in the square. Picking it up is Hamilton. Hamilton hands it back, looking for Blecker. Blecker from an odd angle and goes behind the stick. And that is the first score of the game in the first minute. Watch AFL scoreboard. Golden Gate 1, Denver no score. And that's the way I think against the wind. We've noticed in this field, Mac, the wind has kind of changed to where it's flowing across to us, but it seems like the teams that are scoring against the wind, the value of the goals is multiplied.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ball goes in the middle of the ground now. Klatt able to find Blecker, bootlegs around, sends that one in, drops in front. Estrada Finlay is there, and now cleared out the back, out to the near side. Iris Wu sees it. Oh, big hit put in by Blecker, and that springs Win, slaps it backwards, going to go pick that one up, and Gaillard got hit a little high by Allison Bremner, and it'll be a free kick to Leo Gaillard, who played for the Canada national team. Interesting to see Canadian national team player playing for Golden Gate. And she turns it over. And I believe that's Marissa Poorboy.
Yep, that's what it looks like to me as well.
Former Seattle Grizzly comes this one high in the air. A couple of former Seattle Grizzlies here. Al Leonard as well on this team as the ball goes to ground. And it's like a game of aggro twister out there as Doherty goes after the footy. And here is Sarah Maguillon, drops in front. There is Poorboy and Estrada Finlay. Comes out in the middle. Blecker picks that one up. She's spun around there by Jessica Lynn. And we will have a ball up as the umpire crosses his arms like the Monsignor. Very tight game so far, Mac.
Yep. Let's see what the Denver Bulldogs can pull out. See if they can get it out of here.
As the ball is still high up in the middle now, and Estrada Finley trying to take down Hill with a half Nelson, and she does. So
big tackle.
Great tackle. Great tackle by the veteran Jess Estrada Finley. With Rita Hill on the mark, Mackenzie is in motion. Also is Gaillard directing traffic.
Here comes Lonnie.
Now sends Lonnie Cordoba, but over the top, out of the reach of Jess Gray. Great to see Jess Gray back into the fold as well. Somebody you're familiar with from the national team program,
yeah,
too.
Absolutely. She's been around a long time. Traveled with her in Australia in 2017. She's a force to be reckoned with in the defense.
Free kick, and umpire Steve Arnott just adjusting the mark. And here is Gaillard, runs to 35, sends this one on the way, drifting across the face. Hamilton chases it, but it's gone out of bounds. Not the worst result for the Iron Maidens. It'll be a boundary throw in about 10 meters around.
The wind is definitely blowing across the face of that goal, so that's not helping. Let's see if they can win it back right here.
Ball comes back in the middle once again, and the ball bounces free and cleared out by the Doggies. Up the far side, slapped away by Mackenzie. Going after it is Gray once again, and the umpire crosses his arms, and we'll have a ball up in front of the Tasmanian and Cooper sign, and our thanks to both of them for being on board and being a sponsor once again. Ball gets knocked around. Going after it is Wynn. Comes to the near side. Wu stuck her head over the footy. Knocked ahead by Gaillard. Now stopped ahead, and a whistle coming back. And it'll be a free kick as the trailing official in Steve Arnott has awarded a free kick, and it'll go to Marissa Poorboy. Poorboy loads up and goes down the line, bounces in front and away from Liberatore. That is a football name if ever I've heard one. In fact, one who plays for the Bulldogs. Free kick. This is Jessica Wynn, I believe. 1-0, Watch AFL scoreboard. Maidens the lead. Winner goes to the grand final. Bounces by Emma Banks. Picked up, however, by Blecker. Turns around and boots it on the left. Goes out. One-on-one contest. Great job of winning the footy and turning around by Lynn, who has found another gear. Ball gets popped away. Here again comes, this is Magione, and her former Freedom teammate in Bremner wraps her up, and we'll have a ball up right in front of Mackenzie Adamo and yours truly. That's one thing, as you've mentioned, the wind really has affected the games here, and it definitely affected that ball up.
Yep.
Both rucks miss. Out to the near side. This one is sent into the middle of the ground. Over to get to it again is Estrada Finley, but the wind blows away. Big bump put in there by Lily Hamilton, or rather, by Lily Hamilton out to the near side. And that one is sent in the middle of the ground. As again, the intensity is picking up as Lynn sends that one forward. Liberatore can't get it. And here comes Katie Klatt. Has a bounce, has a look, has a kick down the field. It'll roll, and it will be caught defensively, and that ends that as Jess Gray steps up. I don't know that I've seen Katie Klatt throw herself into the gears that she is throwing into this weekend.
She's ready. They're all ready. They're hungry.
Katie Klatt is a game changer. I mean, she has that experience of playing in Australia, but she is so good at what she does. And now Denver has their first opportunity forward. Going after it is Mazzaros, the veteran. She sends that one into the corner, and the ball goes out of bounds as Emma Bangs appealing for a free kick, and in fact she's going to get it. So here is Emma Bangs, who we heard earlier today at on the 8 o'clock match. Sends this one high in the air. The wind's going to take it. It's going to take it. It clipped in front by Klatt, and instead she concedes the behind in a game where there might not be a whole lot of scoring that might come back later on. But on the Watch AFL scoreboard, we're all square. It's 1-1. That is kind of a veteran thing to do. I mean, if you don't know, it could mean absolutely nothing, but it is a smart play.
Absolutely. I think she went for the mark and didn't quite grab it, and then ended up in the behind.
And the whistle, and holding the ball is the call. Rita Hill, the free kick. So here is Hill. She has the wind behind her. Off of one step, sends that one over everybody. Bounces into Lindsay Kastanek. Ball goes through, clean bowls everybody. Chasing after it is Shawneen McAleer, the Gaelic convert. And we'll have a ball up, I believe. We'll double check. And this has been a very tight and testy contest here. It is a free kick. So here come the Maidens as there is Wynn, who couldn't get to it, shoved out of the way by Bremner out to the near side, and the ball again goes out of bounds. Watch AFL scoreboard. It's 1-1. Alongside Macadamo, I'm Brian Barish. Our thanks to Gridiron Productions for giving us the sights and sounds of this match and spreading it all across the land. And we're going to have another boundary throw-in, it seems. It's very difficult to do when it isn't windy.
Throwing into it is even more challenging.
And that's John Loring, the head coach of the Philadelphia Hawks, who clearly has done this once or twice. And you can tell that because he's wearing a pink hat. He's the only one on the team with the pink Hawks hat. Oh, goodness.
Marissa Poorboy dropped the ball. She should know better. That's a 50-meter penalty.
50-meter penalty, and you don't want to give the Iron Maidens any additional help. And there is the mark. That one is sent forward, and it is marked.
Hallie Kastanek.
Here's Hallie Kastanek. Played all those years in the Rock. Now she's in the back line. Sends that one through. McKenzie picks it off. Gives it a handball. Doherty gets away from McAleer. Two Irish women going after the footy. Here comes Estrada Finley. Hill goes down to pick it up. Poor boy. Tackled by Hamilton. Dropped the pill. No call. Here cleared out by Lynn. High in the air. Wynn takes it. Who wants it? McKenzie. And Nicole McKenzie, who's won numerous bests and fairest in this tournament. She has the mic. She has the glove look as she sends this one on. Finds Maggione, who got it on the second bite of the cherry. Wheels around and kicks it on the right. Good job of stopping it by Hallie Kastanek. This is Poor Boy, who sends it up high in the air, picked off by Jess Blecker. And the former Portland Sockeye, the former Nightcliff Tiger, the former Collingwood Magpie VFL, sending that one into the pocket. Going after it is Cordoba. Hill is in there as well. Wu picks up the footy. Handball to Poor Boy. Tackled, dispossessed, no call. Hamilton picks it up, lines up, and sends this one across the face. And, in fact, stays in play and then goes out of bounds in front of Shawneen McAleer. Watch AFL scoreboard. Golden Gate 1, Denver 1, winner to the grand final. I really like the play of Lily Hamilton. A lot of strength in that forward line, and we've seen it come out a few times this weekend.
Absolutely. Golden Gate has a lot of speed, too. They're used to that backdoor option, and they run in packs. They do it really well.
Ball goes out of bounds once again. Boundary throw in about 10 meters around. Minnesota Freeze overplaying Seattle to complete this 4-team round robin. We do know that the Freeze will be playing in the grand final against the winner of this team. Seattle will play the loser for the right to claim third place honors. Ball goes to ground once again. Pops up in the air. Picked up by Hamilton. Hamilton taken down by two players, both Bremner and Kastanek. And the umpire says, give that to me. We'll have a ball up. About 15, let's call it about 30 meters around in the front right pocket. There is Wynn. Knocks the ball down. Cleared out by Bremner. High in the air. Who wants it? Going to be picked off by Lindsay Kastanek. Kastanek looks around. She has options to the right. Now takes off. Sends this one down the line. High in the air. Goes through. Here's Emma Bangs. Couldn't get to it. Sends that one forward by Kaylee Martin, and she'll find the safety of the boundary line. Good job by Kaylee Martin to come up. She played in the forward line last year, coming across the half line. More strength across the defense alongside Katie Klatt.
Absolutely. She's got great hands, too.
Ball comes spinning back in the play. Knocked down in front. Picked up by Hahn. Little handball back from Taylor Jensen. This one is sent forward. Klatt going after it. She's going to get it from Blecker. Throws this one on the left. High in the air. Two Bulldogs are there, and Jess Estrada Finley, who couldn't get to it. Bremner dropped the pill. Over to get it. It is frozen and finally picked up. They say let it go. Here comes Estrada Finley. Wu dropped the pill but never had it cleanly. In the back is called, and it'll be a free kick. So here is Iris Wu. Can't miss her with all the pigtails on top.
Yep.
As the ball comes out in the air. And dropped by Doherty, picked up by McKenzie. She's tackled and dispossessed. Trying to get that one out there is Benitez. She stayed with the pill, picked that one up again and through was Powell. She couldn't get to it. Taken down. Hahn laying her body loose. My goodness, there is more hitting out there than at 5 o'clock on the Schuylkill Expressway back in Philadelphia, as now Denver trying to move the ball forward across. Forehands on the footy. No call. Blecker able to get it out of there, and she bombs it forward. Going to be picked off. Here comes Hamilton. Wheels around. Kicks that one into a 1-on-2 contest, and Elise Leone into an open goal square, but it goes off to the side. It was like one of my Aunt Becky's cookies. Looked good coming out of the oven, but fell apart at the end. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, the Iron Maidens put their nose in front. They lead 2-1.
Obviously, these teams are very well matched with the score being so low. We'll see if one of them picks up the pace a bit. And
the other side of that is, Mac, it'll be interesting to see how Golden Gate does with the win. They seem to be neutralizing the Bulldogs so far. It's Golden Gate 2, Denver 1 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. As on the far side now, here's Wynn. Wynn will send this high in the air. Who wants it? Everybody. Who's got it? Nobody. Hits the ground. As the ball, now there's a team meeting. Powell gets it out. Doherty sends this one inside. It's over the head of Estrada Finley. Wu going back to get it. Picks it up on the house. Pursues by Hamilton. Shakes her like a bad case of the Mondays. Goes up the far side. Has a bounce. She dropped it as Doherty causes the drop, but then it's picked up by Gregg. Has the footy. Finds Bremner. Bremner turns on a sixpence and fires in the middle, and it's marked by Lindsay Kastanek.
Great mark. Let's see if they can transition the ball.
They needed that. I think they needed to calm things down a bit.
Absolutely. Big kick.
Sent deep with the wind, going back to get it as Klatt. And here comes Katie Klatt. She throws that one on the left, drops in front of Maguillon, gets away from Lynn, winds this one up, goes inside 50 again. Estrada Finley and Hill. Hill held her off the footy, and she's going to get pinged. And so it'll be a free kick for Jess Estrada. No, they're going to say, yeah, it's going to be a free kick for Jess Estrada Finley from 50 meters out. 2 kicks from goal. Sends that one in. Picked off a blade of grass by Lonnie Cordoba. That's why they loved her so much for Subiaco of the Western Australian Football League.
We're a bit far out. Does she have the range, Brian?
Well, into this wind, who knows? As she sets sail, it's going to be close. It's going to die close. Swatted away, still in play, however. Trying to corral it again was McAleer. And the umpire crosses his arms like the first rabbi of Aussie Rules football, L'chaim, and we'll have a throw up. Ball up, rather, as the ball is on that far side over in front of the palm trees here at Lakewood Ranch, Florida, the premier sports campus, here for the 3rd time. And excited about the possibility of maybe being back in the future. One of the best facilities really anywhere that we've been to, especially with how good this deck is. How nice is it to play on this grass? It's really good.
The grass is amazing. The ball bounces usually where you want it, unless there's wind or water.
It's pretty true. There's a chance for goal, and that too.
That was Hamilton off the boot.
It's gone behind. Lily Hamilton has her ears up. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, Golden Gate 3, Denver 1. Just a reminder to all of you out there, either watching us online via Gridiron Productions or here at the beer tent, as you can follow along usafl.com/national/2023, all the updated scores, standings, and links to the games here to watch them live. And also you can follow us on Facebook at USAFL and on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, YouTube at USAFL 1997.
Big switch is happening on the field, I think. Denver's moving around a bit.
On the near side now as Poor Boy sends us one high, eludes Blecker, and right to Lindsay Kastanek. Sends us one in off the kneecaps there and going after the footy. Goes to the near side, swatted out of the air, trying for Powell, but ended up with Kastanek. Kastanek picks it up, finds Wu. Wu sends this one in. Klatt is there. She spoils the play. Liberatore was able to get to it. The ball goes out of bounds. Boundary throw in just to the right of Mac and I. Or Mac and me if you're a movie fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're in the relative same age bracket to where we both remember that movie. I always get Mac and Me confused with Flight of the Navigator. Here's Leo Gaillard up on the far side, and then dragged it there by McKenzie. And before anything could happen, umpire Steve Arnott says, "Give that to me, and I will toss it to the heavens." He does. Gravity takes effect, and so does the wind. The ruck cancel each other out. As that one is shoveled, looking for Wu, cleared out by Powell. One hops in for Silvio, turns on the Jets to get away from Gray, and the former Bulldog in Silvio finds Lily Hamilton. Hamilton's going to go back and wait. Now she has a lead. Going up, looking for Silvio. Drops in front of Estrada Finley, who went down a little bit awkward, but she's up. Here is Leilani Silvio. Jakes gets away, shakes a little bake, but the mustard came off the hot dog, and there is Gray, who's able to get it away. High in the air, dropped by Hallie Kastanek, pursued by Gaillard, cleared out, and now up in the middle of the ground, picked up by Doherty. Shovel pass looking for Blecker. Blecker spins around and sends that one inside 50. Drops in front of Estrada Finley. Hill is there as well. Going after it again is McAleer. McAleer goes down. Here is Powell watching the footy. Vicky Powell picks this one up. Just got her foot to the ball, and that one goes off to the side, still in play. Going after it again after it was banged out of bounds, and the boundary line wins it. Getting pretty near the end of this first half. The score on the Watch AFL scoreboard, Golden Gate 3, Denver 1. This has been a tight, tense match here so far.
It's anybody's game.
That's the way we like to see it here on Sunday afternoon, Sunday here at Nationals Championship Sunday. When you win, the beer goes down quickly. I wish this peach lemonade would go down a little bit more. It's very good, don't get me wrong, but as we have it now, very good from our friends over here with the sweet treats over here. A number of the vendors here. Oh, great spoil right into Iris. I'm hoping she didn't get falconed by that, but she seems like she's okay. Great job by Iris Wu, one of the relative new players. I think this is just her second or third season. You know, the great recruitment drive. That is one thing, and as somebody who, you know, having been on the USAFL board, amazing that they were able to recruit during 2020 during the pandemic the way they were.
Absolutely. Denver's did an amazing job. They're kind of one of the clubs we all look to provide their structure of how they've been recruiting. We had a nice session for all the club admins a couple weeks ago, and we're going to be sharing that information to make it all available to everyone.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things with 45 clubs across the USA, and more than half of them have some sort of women's program, and they're all different shapes and sizes. And if you're watching this, if a friend has directed you to this, or if you're watching, we want you to get involved too at USAFL.com and find a team. Blecker has a look into the middle of the ground now. It'll one hop in, looking for Cordoba. Picked up by Lynn, shoveled back, punched away by Poor Boy, who wanted nothing of that ball for some reason. Handballed up over the top, looking for Wu, but there is Jess Blecker, who goes all the way around. She looks like Jalen Hurts running around the backfield. Now sends this one up the far side, and this one is drops in front, looking for Poor Boy. Poor Boy couldn't get to it. Now sends this one forward as we're getting near halftime, and I think that should be it. And now they have heard the siren, and that is the end of the first half. 4 scoring shots, no goals. It has been very tight. There's been a lot of pressure on both sides, and at the end of the first 20 minutes, it's the Golden Gate Iron Maidens 3, the Denver Bulldogs 1, and Mac Adamo. This is, I think, a part of this is the wind. I think both teams are still very much adjusting to a wind that is blowing much different than it was yesterday.
Yes, it's blowing across the face of the field, not really in anyone's advantage for either goal, but the teams are doing fairly well regardless.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. Since you can hear me now in the beer tent, we'll tell you the game's coming up at, we're coming up on noon. Can you believe it? It's noon on Sunday at Nationals. And here are the matches coming up here on Cooper's Field. It'll be men's Division I action between set Brian Barish alongside Mackenzie Adamo. The wind is staying the same, and San Francisco has to be licking its chops.
Yep, they're ready. I'm sure they were pumped during their huddle. Let's see what happens on this ballot.
Head coach Katie Klatt, who has been around this team since 2019, originally a member of the Sacramento Suns, a former teammate of Macadamo. We're underway as here is Elise Leone, and it finds Blecker, and right off the bat, Blecker has a bounce, loads up on the left foot, sending that one out and looking for Yanni Castillo. Great spoil by Kastanek. Kastanek has it, now kicks that one up on the far side. It'll go off into the corner. Going after it there is Wu, and knocked down, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. Just underway, 3-1, Golden Gate the lead. Keep wanting to call them San Francisco. They were the San Francisco Iron Maidens, but they've become the Golden Gate Iron Maidens because their men is the Golden Gate Roos, and they play for the Golden Gate AFL. So it's a change that was a long time coming. Running this one all the way through, it's Jess Estrada Finley. Hill, however, caught up to her and forced her to get rid of the pill. Handball off the seat of her pants by Castillo. Finds Cordoba, but we have a whistle, and it will be a free kick coming back to Hallie Kastanek. I think that is a welcome change. It's great to see the clubs, and we saw the same thing with the Montreal Angels changing their name to the Quebec Saints to match up with the men's team, because it does make it feel like one club.
Absolutely. Rebranding is always important when you're trying to get that name out there to the most people.
Drops in front of Wu, trying to get it out of the back. Here is Hill, and it's a free kick. It's a good tackle, and it'll be a free kick to Jess Estrada Finley as the Cooper's beer tent starting to fill up with people. And you can bet your bottom dollar it's going to be absolutely rocking come 3 o'clock at the time the grand final is made. Nice mark by Doherty. Alva Doherty. Sends this one on the way. It'll almost taken in front by Gray. Goal mount scramble in front. Going to be picked up out the back as Kaylee Martin is in there trying to force the ball forward. But the umpire says we'll have a ball up at the top of the goal square. 3-1, Golden Gate the lead. Knocked down by Lindsay Kastanek, but it's picked up by Blecker. Shot for goal! She threaded the needle. Get around her. Jess Blecker finally breaks the seal on this game as she wheeled around on her right, and she kicked it through all sorts of hands. And on the right side of the goalpost and on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's the Golden Gate Iron Maidens 9, the Denver Bulldogs 1. And that's what Jess Blecker can do, and it's that experience of playing over in Australia, both in Victoria and in the Northern Territory. And my goodness, that was a goal right out of the top shelf.
Quick hands, quick boot. Run on the bounce. She's got all the skills you need. Yeah,
it really does. And she's been another pickup between Klatt and her and Cordoba, as this is Leo Gaillard. Leo looks out to the near side where it's going to be marked by Blecker. Blecker is all over the place. Now she sends this one into the half-forward line. Going to go set and off into the pocket. Over to get it now is Rita Hill. The ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. 9-1, Golden Gate the lead. Boundary throw-in upcoming. Ball gets knocked down, right to Gaillard. Got the handball off, looking for Sene Moy Moy in front as the ball goes now towards the goal, and it goes out to the pocket. Quick takedown and a whistle, and it's a free, well, let's see. It is a free kick, and it will go the way of Sarah Maggione. Mags is another one who's been around a long time. She's living in North Georgia. She does a lot of training with the Rome Redbacks.
Awesome. Let's see if she can sink their second goal.
Redbacks, of course, making their debut and playing in Division 4 as this one is sent on the way. It drifts to the left and stays in play as a good tackle. That's dangerous right in front, but it looks like it has gone through for a behind. So it's good for Denver because they'll get a chance to get a kick out, but San Francisco gets another point. Watch AFL scoreboard. It's San Francisco. It's Golden Gate. Sorry, it's going to take a while for me to get used to that. Golden Gate 10, Denver 1. here on USAFL.com. Brian Barish alongside Macadamo. Our thanks to Gridiron Productions for their work this weekend, and our thanks to Tasmania and Coopers for their undying support. Up on the far side, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw-in. Winner of this game, once again, will take on the Minnesota Freeze as the grand final picture is starting to take shape across all the divisions. And we'll tell you, give you a quick idea in just a moment of some of the action and some of the matches. We'll tell you that Sacramento will play Seattle in Division 2. That's a 2 o'clock start right here. And Oklahoma will play Philadelphia/Virginia in Division 3 at 1 o'clock. The Division 1 for the men and the Division 1 for the women still to be determined as the mark is taken by Doherty. You know, it's very interesting how much the Irish influence really has on all these teams. And a lot of these teams, like in San Francisco and Denver, they play Gaelic football and they recruit from it. Looks the handball, looking, and a good job of staying with the footy by Cordoba. She's ridden there by Shawneen McAleer, another Irish woman, and it'll be a free kick, or a ball up rather. Ball up in the air. Knock forward. Here's Gaillard, who is tracking the play. Leo Gaillard sends this one to the sticks, but marked over the back by Howie Kastanek. You know, Howie's been around a long time, but that veteran presence, that leadership is still very important, and Denver is a better team because they still have her.
Absolutely.
Marked.
It's Marissa Poorboy with the footy.
Poorboy.
Looking for Lindsay, right?
Yeah, looking for Lindsay Kastanek, and it's going to be short off the chest of McAleer. McAleer goes backwards again, looking for somebody. It was Bremner, and now up on the far side, and the ball, and we have
a ball up.
A ball up. Still 10-1. Ball comes in. Here is Gaillard, sends this one into the middle of the ground, drops in front. Howie Kastanek is there. Howie Kastanek weaves through defenders, runs her full measure, but was taken down at the very end. And play on, they say. Doherty trying to spring. Gaillard just gets her foot to it. Ball drops up high in the air. Martin was shoved aside. Umpire says play on. Here comes Wu, who was taken down by McKenzie. Nicole McKenzie goes back. Here is Powell, sends this one forward. It will carry with the wind, and the mark is taken once again by Howie Kastanek. And she almost looks like Katie at this point on the last line of defense, cool and calm, taking those marks.
Absolutely. Big kick out the side. It looks like Emma Bangs maybe scooped that one up.
It was Emma Bangs, but it's going to come into the center of the ground. Moy moves forward, gives the ball to Elise Leone, who looks elegant as heck as she kicks the ball forward and soccered off the ground. It looks like that's going to be conceded. In fact, it has. It was conceded as a behind. So on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's Golden Gate 1 goal 5-11 to Denver 1. So it's 11-1, Golden Gate the lead. And Golden Gate, I think their skills could probably be a little bit cleaner, but they're definitely hemming things in and keeping Denver the chance from moving the ball forward on their own right.
Absolutely. I think the wind is a big factor for everyone right now. A bit more run and carry might help.
Yeah, and things are right there. The wind is coasting into this commentary position on the wing position, and it'll be a free kick. Off of 3 steps, left-footed kick high in the air. Not almost taken by Blecker, who threw herself at the footy, being chased by Poorboy. And now right in front of us, and ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw-in as the Rucks nominate. In fact, it'll be a ball up right in front of the Cooper's beer tent, which, as we said, is starting to fill as Moy comes through. Up against Kylie Hahn, picked up by Cordoba, into the middle. There's McAleer to pick that one away. Soccered off the ground by Poorboy, but right into the hands of Nicole McKenzie. That's a clean mark. Don't see that very often where a ball is soccered and then is caught out of the air. McKenzie with that unorthodox drop of the footy. Drops this one down, picked up and got out. Now here the other way comes Gray. Gray sends this one down. Almost taking that one was Jensen. And then back the other way. Sending this one in towards the sticks. It'll go across the face, and it will roll and hop out of bounds. Kylie Hawn's done a good job in the ruck for Denver. She was an all-tournament selection, all regional selection for her performance at the Super Regionals. Here is Gaillard off the hit and looking for Blecker, but couldn't find her. Blecker, I hardly know her. Ball comes out in the middle of the ground, and it's marked by Meg Leone. That's the first time we've called her name, the former volleyball player from Wayne State University, and that one is paid by, big tackle in there put by Gray, taking down Maguione. Those are two Freedom teammates, and it'll be a free kick coming out for a high contact, and it will go the way of Hallie Kastanek and the Denver Bulldogs. Still 2 kicks behind, however. They need to do a lot of work as the ball goes up on the far side once again. They'll play on. Ball goes to ground up on the far side. And looking for Emma Bangs. Bangs was shoved backwards. Now stays with it. Gaillard has it lost in her pegs. And this one is kicked up in the air. Looking for Blecker but couldn't claim it. Here's Doherty. Handball over into the middle of the ground. Picked up by Blecker. Bootlegs around. Blecker sends this one in. Marked by Cordoba.
Beautiful. Beautiful mark.
That's her second really just clean mark. And she'll go back to try and extend her team's lead as they move things around. So this is a little bit better of an angle.
Just take that wind into factor. Let's see if she can sink it. Oh.
Well, I was going to suggest starting left to right, but that might be a little bit too far left. But it bounces in front. 2 players there. There is Poor Boy who swings around. And I've been calling, it's funny, there was a couple of instances where number 20 had the ball. That's Al Leonard, who also was from Seattle at one point. So Al Leonard getting her touches as well. And they play it out in the middle. It's marked by Elise Leone. And Elise, who also has a number of individual honors from nationals back home in Golden Gate. Sends this one on the way, left to right with the wind. Is it there?
Was it touched?
Yes, sir. Elise Leone read the wind perfectly and slotted it home, and that is going to make life a little bit more difficult for the Bulldogs as the Iron Maidens look for another return to the grand final and to possibly break the Bulldogs record. On the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's the Golden Gate Iron Maidens 17 and the Denver Bulldogs 1. What a kick.
Quite the momentum going in the second half for Golden Gate.
And that's not an easy kick either because you have to read the wind perfectly, and she did it perfect. She put the ball out like almost to the left of the goalpost and let the wind do the rest.
Yep.
The Golden Gate Iron Maidens have finished in first. As we mentioned, they're the champions. They finished in second in 2014 and in 2015, or rather they finished in first in 2013 and in 2014. They finished in fourth on a tiebreaker back in 2015, but they have been the standard of excellence, and here's an opportunity as they go back. Gaillard is going to clear that one out up the far side where it's marked by Moy Moy. St. Anne Moy Moy sends this one high in the air, going to be marked by Cordoba. Look at them string these together, Mac. This is incredible.
This is where they thrive.
Marked by Maguione as they switch that pitch into the middle of the ground. Now high and into the wind, looking for Estrada Finley. And they're starting to queue up. Finley thought about it. Now goes in short to try and marked by Cordoba. Oh, my goodness, Lonnie. Take a bow. That could be a Tasmanian mark of the day. She just throws herself at the footy.
This will be 3 goals in 7 minutes, I think, if they get
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
one. And she's kicking against the wind again.
And again, left to right. And again, it's a goal. Leilani Cordoba has another one. and you might just pencil in the Maidens into the grand final. On the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's the Maidens 3 goals, 5-23. Denver 1 point. It's Golden Gate 23 and Denver 1. And let's talk about Lonnie Silvio for a minute. Boston Demons, Sacramento Suns as well. Some people forget that she played alongside you.
She did.
LA Dragons, spent some time here in the Tampa area as well with the Tiger Sharks, the Denver Bulldogs, and now Golden Gate. And again, every time you think that the teams in the past, every time that the teams seem to catch up, they add a piece, and Leilani Cordoba has been an invaluable piece of the forward line.
Absolutely. She's an amazing player, and if she doesn't have the footy, she's going to go get it.
She's also a really good person. She also is a good singer. She sang the national anthem last season. Here is Poor Boy, who comes out. Here's Poor Boy versus Gaillard. Shakes her free. Kicks it up on the left side now. Nice mark by Meg Leone. I've loved watching Meg develop as a player in this, her 7th season of play. This one is a kick up high in the air, looking. Blecker couldn't get to it. Leonard shoved from behind by Gaillard, and then the ball goes out of bounds in front of Leo Gaillard, who is slow to get up, with Sarah Maggione helping her a little bit, and it looks like it is going to be a free kick, as Gaillard was second best on that occasion. They're calling for it as they go down right into the middle of the ground. Here comes Lily Hamilton. Hamilton hands it back to Doherty, doings it off of a player, and the ball goes out of bounds. Lily Hamilton running loose in the middle of the ground. Got to make sure you're nice and got to make sure you're covered on her. As the ball gets picked up, taken down Maggione, and Maggione was taken down by Poor Boy, and I believe somebody else was collected in that tackle as well as Allison Bremner, and Maggione is down. She is now just starting to move. And we will have a stoppage of play here as they tend to Sarah Maggione. And it looks, for the time being, I'm wondering they should probably get her off the ground, but they are now going to get off the ground. So hopefully she's okay. Obviously a very big, very important part of this Iron Maidens team, but want to make sure she's okay. Perhaps some concussion protocol. We're underway once again as the ball gets knocked down here out in the middle of the ground. And the mark is taken by Nicole McKenzie. McKenzie's going to take as much time as she's able to and sends this one up to the far side. Gets knocked down. Here comes Doherty going after Lynn. Doherty stays with it. Wu is there as well. Wu is taken down from behind. And it's a good tackle, free kick. And it'll go the way of Nicole McKenzie.
You know, Golden Gate has the momentum, but Denver's unrelenting.
Yeah, they really aren't, and that's really good to see. I mean, they are going to fight to the end, but it's getting pretty near the end, as John and Paul once said. Almost taking the sliding mark there was Lindsay Kastanek. Picking that one up was Nagbed Navbakhtian, and the ball goes out of bounds. Boundary throw in again, 23-1.
Oh, some sort of penalty? They're moving the ball up the field?
Oh, yes. That's interesting.
Hallie Kastanek.
So Denver getting a little bit of help here with that 50-meter penalty. And this one is sent through the hands of Avi Doherty. And Klatt, Powell, going to be picked up by Wu. Waiting for it anyway, like a fly half. And we'll have a ball up as Kylie Hahn comes over to nominate. The wind, I'll tell you what, it's definitely keeping the temperature down too, it seems like, because it's a nice cool breeze.
Yeah, and it's not as humid today.
It's an international cool breeze, as Brian Taylor would say. Handball in the middle, slapped down by Lindsay Kastanek. She throws it onto the right and goes out to the wing position commentary side. I don't think that's our field yet. I heard some celebrations. A couple of players are down now for Denver. We'll keep watching the play here as getting that one out into the middle, looking for Moy Moy. Big crunch in the back on Wu as this one comes out in the middle of the ground. Going to go pick that one up. And it's going to go. Here is Lynn, able to get that one away in the wind. Nice mark This is McAleer. McAleer throws it onto the left, looking for Emma Bangs. Here comes Gaillard, able to clean it up. Bangs chases her down and affects the kick. One hops in on Poor Boy. Poor Boy's got to get away from the chasing player in Savannah Green. This one is sent high up in the air, punched away out of the back by Alice Houston. And that is it. That is it. The Golden Gate Iron Maidens are going back to the grand final one more time, and they are on the precipice of possibly setting new marks for excellence in the women's division and overall in the USAFL. The final score, it's the Golden Gate Iron Maidens, 3 goals, 5 behinds, 23 points, and the Denver Bulldogs won. Spare a thought for the Bulldogs because they laid it all out on the field. They are playing shorthanded. I know I didn't see Kate Masher, so I'm wondering if she might be injured, but my goodness, Golden Gate did what they had to do, and they'll face off against Minnesota one more time for the grand final.
That was a lovely grand final to watch last year, so I'm really excited to see what Minnesota and Golden Gate can pull out.
Me too, and if yesterday was any indication, I think we're in for an absolute ball burster of a match. As we take a look at the matches coming up in the 12 o'clock hour once again, just to give you right here on Cooper's Field, we're going to have, let's see, Golden Gate and Denver in Men's Division 1. Also Men's Division 1 on Field 2, Austin in New York. LA and Boston over on Field 3. San Diego, Quebec over on Field 4. And on Field 5, Fort Lauderdale and Rome. Mac Adamo, thank you so much for joining me for the last, well, me for the last game, but thank you for doing the last 2 games.
Absolutely. It's always fun to be here. You know, you're the dominant voice. I just get to the fun little tidbits.
Well,
That's what I like.
I mean, if I'm the dominant voice, I think we're in trouble. Something. But thanks again. Good luck in your last game of the day with Sacramento/Houston in Women's Division 2. And we're going to step aside and come right back for Men's Division 1 action when we return to Cooper's Field. Thanks to Coopers and Tasmanian, you're watching the 2023 USAFL National Championships here on USAFL.com.